Alrighty, fire signs. So, this is going to be a nice June overview for. I feel like that sounds so loud. Uh, this is going to be a nice June overview for Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Cute little check in to see how your June is going to go. Hi, my name is B, just in case if you forgot, or maybe if you're new around these parts and if you're accustomed to being here, welcome back. Now, like, share, subscribe. Check down below in the description box for how to book with me and or to find me on other platforms. And yeah, what is this? Oh, well, I didn't notice that my rose quartz was in front of me the entire time. It was like up under the thing I have this set on. That's funny. Okay, fire signs, what y'all got going on in for love? Like, I don't feel like that was a coincidence that I found that, right? Because I just did a video before now and I didn't see it. So anyway, like I said, this is going to be for Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. So let's go ahead and jump in because I don't want this to be super long. Give me a card for, I don't know, let's try that again. I don't know if that was supposed to be the card or not, but give me a card for Aries, Leo, Sagittarius for their June 2026. This is a timeless reading, okay? You can find this whenever, and there should be some messages in here for you. We do have Jaws, and then we have Nightmare on Elm Street. These are a very two interesting pair to get. Jaws, and it says bite, attack, open water, on the hunt, sense of smell, excellent vision, cold-blooded, and apex predator. We do have Nightmare on Elm Street. Razor sharp, subconscious fear, sleepless nights, burned and scarred, child neglect, bad dreams. I'm gonna be honest, out of the gate, right? Both of these definitely give me the vibe of like you could be like on the hunt for something, or like you could have like something in your eyesight, right? It does say excellent vision, so this could be like an actual vision that you have that you're executing, or something that's in your scope, like you have your eyes on something, like maybe something tangible like a new home, a new car, or whatever like that. And it feels like, again, you're kind of like going after something with this Jaws card. But then Nightmare on Elm Street make me feel like there could be some fear associated with it. There could be some worry associated with it. Yeah, I didn't even see this at the bottom of the card, but it says in your head. Okay, as we all know, like, so whatever fears that you're experiencing in June as you go after whatever this is, right? It feels like, remember that the fears are all in your head, right? And that's like a common thing that people say, but it's true, right? The fear is only as real as it is in your head, right? The worry that you might mess up on a test, the worry that you might go to speak in front of people and then you stumble and fumble over your words. Like, what if I walk on stage and then I trip and fall on my face? It's like the fear is only as real in your head as you make it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you remind yourself that, again, you control fear, fear doesn't control you, and that a lot of the times you're only making up the worst case scenario. How many times have you feared for something just for it to turn out perfectly fine? And it happens to me all the time, where I'm like, uh oh, what if I do this? What if I do that? What if this happened? What if that happened? And then it literally turns out perfectly fine. And it's like, I just sit back and laugh at myself sometimes, because it's like, girl, see, you just worried yourself for no reason. You were so worried, you were so stressed just for this to literally not even turn out the way that you think, right? For some of you, it could come with sleepless nights. You know, you do have sleepless nights here. It says subconscious fears. So for some of you, you could actually be waking up in the middle of the night, and when it comes to June, and if you notice yourself doing that, notice that it could be because of some fears, right? This could be rooted in some worry, in some trauma that you have. Burned and scarred makes me feel like, again, for some of you, this could be a worry of things, because it's like, I've been there before, you know? Like, I know I used to have a client, or I still have a client, if it's the client I think it is. I used to have somebody who would always look with me and ask, "Are they going to be financially stable? Are they going to be financially stable?" And they had a vision for something. They had a vision and an idea for what they wanted to go for, but they always wanted to book with me and ask, and they would always tell me, "Well, it's because I've been homeless before. I've been this before. I've been that before. So I'm just like so anxious and nervous. I'm so worried. I'm so fearful. You know what I'm saying? And I'm because I've been burned and I've been scarred. I've been traumatized. I've been homeless. I've been kicked out or whatever. So I'm just super nervous and paranoid and scared. So that's very, very normal. Fire signs, I see you having that, right, when it comes out into the month of June. But it also makes me feel like, again, remember that this is all in your head. Remember that everything is going to happen for you. You have excellent vision. You're on the hunt. You're on the prowl. You're going after something. You're very locked in about it. You know what I'm saying? Cold blood. It makes me feel like, again, you could maybe even be kind of coming off a little cold when it comes to June, fire signs. Maybe you're not in the mood for other people bullshit. Maybe you're not really talkative. Maybe you're not really hanging out. Maybe you're not in the mood for love and romance, right? Making sure that you communicate that to the people you love, or you don't want to come off like an ass. But it's like, yeah, you want to make sure that you do what you can in order to get to where you're trying to go. Just making sure that you're not being a bitch while you do it or an asshole while you do it. Okay, but for some of you, this feels like you could be very like cold blooded. You could be very like standoffish, very not in the mood, very no nonsense, very, you know what I'm saying? Just like your heart and feelings feel very shut off. It feels like you're very locked into what you're doing. But again, it feels like if you're not careful, subconsciously or consciously, the fear and the worry and the anxiety could begin to creep up on you. Um, and again, it might just kind of start to get the best of you if you don't remind yourself that this is literally all in your head. Okay, give me a card for June. Yeah, metamorphosis. So again, you are going through some transformations and you are going through some changes. Okay, this feels like, again, it could maybe be rooted in your subconscious fears, right? A real transformation happens when you are shaking in your boots and you are chomping on your fingernails, and with all the fear that you have, you still push through and you do the thing. It awakens something in you. It shifts something in you. It changes something in you, right? So this feels like the more you push through the fear, the more you push through the anxiety, the more you push through the worry, the more you remind yourself that, hey, this is just a subconscious fear, the more you remind yourself, even in those sleepless nights where you wake up worried, anxious, you know what I'm saying, stressed about something, that you can remind yourself that, hey, this is only in your head. Don't obsess. Don't trip out about it. Okay, everything is going to be fine. You just have to stay focused on this vision. Stay focused on what you're on the hunt about. Stay focused on what you're locked in with. You're going after something. And in order to really get to the other side of it, you have to push through the fear. And pushing through the fear is what is going to help you. Bottom of the deck card again, you have Field of Dreams. Okay, so the seed is already planted. You already planted the seeds, right? May could have been a month of planting the seeds for what it is that you want, for where it is you're going, for what it is you're going after. But now it's about really allowing things to blossom. The Field of Dreams is about, okay, now that we've planted these seeds, what are you watering them with? Positivity, optimism, positive affirmation, right? Or are you going to let the fear mess up what your dream what you're planting and investing? That's just like if you go after a job and then you apply. But if you, after you apply and you press submit the application, if you be off in your head telling yourself, oh, well, they're not gonna hire me, I suck, I'm never really a good. That's all you're watering your seeds of manifestation with negativity, which chances are this isn't gonna come to fruition because you're watering these same exact seeds with negativity. So how can we shift that? How can we shift the energy? How can we shift what it is that we're pouring into, right? Just like if you maybe don't get the call back, how well can you remind yourself that rejection is protection, instead of get off in your head and go, see, I knew that they weren't going to hire me. I knew I wasn't qualified enough. You know, I had my eyes on that, you know, on that job, and I really, really wanted it, and I did everything I was supposed to do. Okay, that's fine. I wonder if every shark that tries to go after something, if they start to kind of feel sorry for themselves too when they don't get it, or do they just mosey on to the next thing and try to get that, right? So this is the time to do that. A lot of your metamorphosis in June, fire signs, is going to be rooted in your subconscious thought pattern. It's going to be in your past traumas and fears. It's going to be rooted in how well you can get out of your head and remind yourself that these fears are only in your head. Okay. And to just remember to be sharp, right? Right, you have razor sharp in one of these cards, okay, and then you have jaws, attack and bite, right? So this makes me feel like, again, the fear also could be maybe rooted in wanting to be as sharp as possible, wanting to be as on point as possible, right? It's like I said, speaking in front of people. Maybe you want your speech to be as tight knit as possible, and it's easy going and it's easy flowing, right? Where it's like it's just sharp, sweet, to the point. But then you worry about, what if I get up there and I stutter? What if I say a word wrong? What if they laugh at me? It's like, tune out the nonsense. Remind yourself in June that this is all in your head, right? Because these are just subconscious fears. More than likely, that came from past traumas. In June, in Gemini season, this feels like a lot of past traumas, a lot of subconscious fears, a lot of, like, again, inner negative self talk might be coming up to the forefront. But it's coming up to the forefront in order to really get you to shift and change that. Okay? Again, metamorphosis. We have two flamingos side by side. There's a butterfly right above them. But the butterfly goes through the major metamorphosis shift of all, from the caterpillar to the butterfly, right? But imagine if the butterfly spent so much time as a caterpillar, worried and fearful of what it could do. You know? What if the caterpillar was just so worried about becoming a butterfly, where it was just like, oop, actually, I don't even think I want this, because as a caterpillar, people have almost stepped on me so many times to where I'm just nervous, right? Says the caterpillar never, right? It's gonna go through that transformation. It's gonna morph into that beautiful butterfly. It's gonna learn how to use them wings, and it's gonna continue to go on with life and do amazing, wonderful, beautiful things. But the metamorphosis process starts from within before it could ever reach the outside. This could maybe even for some of you go into, again, maybe just having such a harmful past. Maybe some of you have such a tumultuous past to where it's hard to really kind of move forward. But this Gemini season, this month of June, is going to be asking you, how well can you release that? Right? We do have a full moon in Sagittarius coming up. So my Sagittarius placements, y'all are on the map here, ruled by Jupiter, right? If you have a vision for something and you want something, how well can you go for the bigger picture? And us as Sagittarius, I can attest, as a Sag woman, I'm fearful all the time. But I always definitely lean on faith of knowing that even though I'm scared and I'm nervous that things won't work out for me, maybe I'm going to take this leap of faith and I might not even land on my feet. But wherever I land, I know I'm going to be all right. Right? Even if I fall on my face, I know I'm going to get up, and as soon as I dust my face off and I look around, I'm going to be right in front of wherever I needed to be at. I just landed on my face on the way down. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of just depends on how well you can lean into the bigger picture. How well do you want it? How well can you point that arrow? And if it's the subconscious fears that's standing in your way, if it's worries that's standing in your way, if it's past trauma that's standing in your way, how well can you again transform and heal and grow and blossom into something even bigger, even better? Your story as a caterpillar isn't just that. You ain't even hit your metamorphosis to become a butterfly yet. Is what this feel like. Give me some tarot. Yeah, Knight of Wands. So in June, I see you moving, right? I see you ready to take action. I see you taking action, going for what it is that you have your eye on. Yeah, the Chariot card, right? So things are moving. You'll start to kind of see some momentum if you haven't already, okay? For others of you, you definitely will start to see things pick up. Maybe you've been seeing some momentum, but you'll start to really see things pick up a little differently, okay? Chariot card is here. You could have some Cancer in your chart, maybe in your big three. Maybe you're a Cancer with Sag. Maybe you have why did I say just Sag? I don't know. Maybe that's that too. Maybe you're a Cancer with some fire in your chart. Maybe you're a fire sign with some Cancer. But regardless, I do feel like you'll feel a little more in control in June. You'll feel a little more on top of things as you roll into it, especially as we roll into Cancer season. Cancer season is toward the end of the month. So toward the end of the month, you'll start to feel like things are more moving forward a little more smoothly, or we'll start kind of picking up a little more momentum, a little more traction toward the end of the month as we enter into Cancer season. But I see you guys having a lot of energy to want to get up and go and really handle some things, right? The King of Swords is here. It is reversed. Give me a clarifying card on that. Maybe some of you might feel a little tight-lipped about what's going on, or maybe might be thinking a little irrationally. Yeah, making sure that you be mindful about thinking rationally. Okay, for some of you, you could be thinking a little irrationally when it comes to certain things. Okay, this could again be rooted in subconscious fears, worries, anxiety. All right, but making sure that you have a cohesive plan and making sure that you think logically, whether it be you thinking real negatively about something or positively about something. What's the backup plan? It's not enough to just roll off fantasy. Okay, this is what's going to help you keep anxiety down also. When you stop thinking so much about the fantasy or the idea of something, then when you start really thinking about the logical step by step, or the logical thoughts and processings that goes into what this is, right? For some of you, I'm seeing, don't share something with your family. You could have family, a family member, a mother maybe. I wouldn't really share with this person what's going on right now. I wouldn't really tell this person what we're doing. Yeah, you have double confirmation of that. If you guys have someone in family, in your family around you, especially like a mom too, I wouldn't really share with this person what's going on. I wouldn't really share with this person um what's going on, or like, I don't know, or like maybe the plan. I'm kind of getting your energy too of like, again, you might kind of have some people around you that might kind of throw a little negative juju into your dreams. You know what I'm saying? You trying to go to sleep so you can dream, and this a motherfucker acting like Freddy Krueger and shit, where it's just like they just kind of want to jump in that motherfucker real good and scare you out of it. So be mindful. I feel like, again, if this is like a mother figure, I wouldn't really share too much, especially with this mother figure, about what's going on or how things are moving forward. So again, let's say maybe things aren't as good as they could be. I would keep this person or these people out of your business, because they'll only make you feel worse and they'll only add more anxiety. Where if you kept it to yourself and didn't put them in your business, maybe you mentally would be able to stay focused on what you're doing, right? Sometimes you can not feel so bad about a situation, and then you tell somebody, and then all of a sudden they start adding they 2 cents into your plan. Now you feel worse. Now you got extra stress. You really can't sleep now because they didn't put some shit on your mind that wasn't even on your mind. It had you never told them, right? And even if things are going well for you, I feel like that's still the same thing. If things are going well for you and the momentum starts to pick up and things start really transitioning and transforming, I feel like this might be somebody who, again, might be the one who try to put a little negativity in your mind, you know what I'm saying, to try to make you feel like this is a bad dream. For those of you where that applies, again, I would just honestly just kind of feed the fire. I would kind of just, keep the momentum going. Again, if you know that you got your eyes on something, you know what I'm saying, you locked in on something, you're going after something, you want to prowl, okay? Because sharks are real. Though I said, I wonder how many sharks probably don't get the things that they be after, and if they make a big deal about it, or if they just go on to the next thing to try to get that, right? They just gonna put something else in their eye view and lock focus on that. They have a great sense of smell, and they have great vision and great sight. Okay, so as you prowl around, and as you have something in your vision and your eyesight that you know that you're going after, right? I would just feed the fire on that. Allow yourself to focus on the momentum. Allow yourself to focus on just keeping it in eye view. Okay, I know it get frustrating. I know it get tiring. I know it get hard. I know it's tough when you have trauma and you trying to still be a human through your trauma. I know how hard it is when you have all this anxiety and this stress and this worry, and you still just trying to keep going. But keep going. Okay, the fire will slowly start to build. You'll slowly be able to pour into yourself little bit by little bit, more and more and more, and it will definitely work out for you, for sure. Give me something on this Nav of Wands here. Yeah, Three of Cups reverse. Again, this is the time to work alone, fire signs. I wouldn't really put nobody in my business. Like, okay, if you need help, right? I'm not saying don't ask for help, just struggle by yourself. That's not what I'm saying. But I wouldn't put nobody in my business, whether it's good or bad. Whether you struggling, unless you just genuinely, again, need to ask for help, need to ask for assistance, I wouldn't tell nobody what's going on, because this might be the energy to where people try to put a little extra salve on you, put a little extra salt in the wound. And if things are going good for you, I still wouldn't say nothing. I would just slowly let things continue to build. Honestly, I feel like even though this is Gemini season, air signs, and typically this is a pretty good energy for most air signs, I'm gonna be real honest when I say I think I need all of my fire signs to shut the fuck up in the month of June. In the month of June, I wouldn't tell nobody what's going on about nothing. No new blessings, no old blessings. When things start to pick up for you slowly at the end of the month, and momentum builds up, and you start to really see that the things that you've been going after all this time really are in arm's length, in arm's reach, and these good positive changes. Because this metamorphosis card makes me feel like you got some good changes that's coming in for you at this during this month. So this makes me feel like when it does start happening, I wouldn't share it with nobody. I would just be quiet. I would just, you know how some people, what's that little shit is on the internet when people be like, I'll never tell nobody if I hit the lottery, but there will be signs. I feel like that's the energy y'all need to be in this month. I'll never tell nobody that I'm stinking filthy rich, but there will be signs. Okay, and I feel like that's what this is right now. You do have the Nav of Wands as the last card, but the Knight of Wands is the first card. So this makes me feel like, again, things will just focus on things picking up. Just focus on the momentum. Focus on pouring into yourself. Focus on motivating yourself. Focus on pouring into yourself and really like undoing some of those negative anxiety talks. You know what I'm saying? Not what if things go wrong, but what if things go right? Not what if they don't call me back, what if they do call me back, right? Always seeing the glass half full, and this will also kind of help you unprocess and unpack some of the subconscious fears and worries and negativities when it comes to the things that you're dreaming about. Nightmare on Elm Street, he literally came into their dreams and terrorized everything. Don't let nobody Freddy Krueger you. Don't let nobody come into your life and then you trying to share them to them what your dreams is or how far you've come on working with your dreams. And these gonna be the same people who kind of want to tiptoe into this dream and then make it a nightmare. No. So I wouldn't really share too much. Just let there be signs. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to tell nobody, hey, I'm doing really good in life and I just got a raise. They'll just see you pull up in your new Benz, right? They'll just see you show the keys to your new apartment on the internet. And that's good enough. Let that be good enough in June. That's all they really need. Aside from that, how's life? Great, says fire signs. And I would leave it right at that. Okay, because again, you need your mental focus and you need to be mentally on point and straight on right now. You don't need nobody adding no extra salt into no wounds. Just like you don't need nobody trying to find flaw in your blessings and in your good things. And that's just that on that. Let's move into some money cards this month. But I do see again for the end of the month, I feel like things will begin to pick up. What you're going after, fire signs, you'll feel like, okay, now I have it in reach. Like I'm either finally in arm's reach of it or I finally got my hands on it and now we rolling. You know what I'm saying? This chariot card make me feel like, okay, now we rolling. And I feel like that'll more so pop off toward like Cancer season. So it feels like the end of June more so, where things will start to feel like, okay, finally, the ball is rolling. You know what I'm saying? Everything is everything. The momentum is picking up. Like everything that got my eyes on, that I'm working hard for is happening for me and things are changing for me. So that's good. Give me some money cards. Yeah, see, lucky you. It says this is your lucky time. Things are turning in your favor. Take advantage of this opportunity and make the most of it. So, yeah, as I said, things toward the end of the month, it feels more toward the end of the month or things will begin to really pick up and start to, like I said, feel like, okay, now we rolling. The ball is finally rolling. Like things I'm working hard for, I'm seeing it come together. I'm seeing my finances come together. The vision, the dream that I have for myself is finally all starting to kind of pick up and take shape. Okay, so this is good. You know what I'm saying? Take advantage of the opportunities that are coming for you right now. Okay, in June, it says balance. You need to balance your career and your personal life. Honesty and business ethics are important to establish credibility in your work environment. Okay, so be honest and ethical in the business that you're doing. Be honest and ethical about how you're going about achieving these things. But this also makes me feel like, again, all work no play makes fire sign a dull boy or girl. Okay, it's not enough to just work yourself into the ground. And I did pick that up. They said it feels like in June, for some of you, you might need all the mental capacity you can, right? You can't really afford to have nobody come in and then put a little salt in your wound. You already stressed out enough about your bills. The last thing you need right now is for somebody to come around and go, oh, damn, so what you gonna do? Right? Don't that just add an extra level of stress? Bitch, if I knew what I was gonna do, I would be doing it. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm stressed right now so I can figure it out. Actually, just stop talking to me. Just stop talking to me. Just go ahead on about your business. Just go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't got time for all that. So making sure that you're balancing your work life and the money that you're making and the things that you got that you're working hard toward right now. Make sure you balance that with a little bit of fun, with a little bit of relaxation, with a little bit of like fun energy, because again, you'll need to make sure you balance that. It'll also maybe help you mentally without, it'll help you mentally from really leaning so much into maybe over anxiousness, over worrying, overthinking. Now we're having sleepless nights because you're just up so frantic about stress and work. Sometimes you just got to put a pause on that and go outside and touch grass and go laugh or go to the gym or go have a hangout with your friends and then come back and get back to it. Okay, so make sure you keep that in mind in June to balance things out. But it does seem like a lucky time. It does seem like, again, opportunities and doors will begin opening. Communication, sharing your voice to speak your truth will show your authenticity and expression. You have a talent in the communication field. Okay, so making sure that you are definitely opening your mouth. Maybe some of you like to write or maybe start a podcast or whatever it is like that, YouTube blog vlog. This is also a good time to start doing that. Okay, or to try out avenues this month that help with communication and that can kind of get you into certain opportunities too that are involved in the communication field. Again, we are in Gemini season right now. Happy birthday to my Geminis, if any of you are creeped over here watching this. Yeah, and this is a good time. Communication, Gemini rules communication. They're ruled by Mercury, so this is also a good time too to start trying to exercise avenues of communication and in the communication field, because that can probably also open some doors to some opportunities as well. Last card here, you might need to make some adjustments to your spending. Your expectations are not met at this time. It is better to be prepared than it is to be sorry. I feel like this is like a card for myself. That was like a conversation I just had with myself, where it's like, I saw somebody say, I heard somebody, I was watching like some video about some millionaire, and they were saying if you had any advice to give anyone, what would it be? And he was like, honestly, in order to really get to this level of wealth, you'll have to learn and be okay with living below your means. Okay, you'll have to be okay with that. And I kind of was putting that in perspective with myself, where it was like, again, because you honestly don't know, it might be a rainy day or anything. You never really know, especially when it says, again, your expectations are not being met at this time. So it doesn't matter how much you work and hustle, what you expected to be making or what you expected for things to turn out as is not how it turns out. How well can you, you know, put back for a rainy day fund? And for me myself, a good way of doing that is by starting to live below my means. I oftentimes have a tendency to live way above my means because I like really, really nice things that simply just I don't have the tax bracket for. You know what I'm saying? So it's something that I'm learning, something to make those adjustments, where it was like, even if I can afford the $20 thing, the $30 thing, if I can be okay with the $15 thing, then be okay with that. Not because that's all I can afford, but because that's a part of living below my means. Would I love to spend $30 on this thing? Sure. But can I really truly afford that right now, considering that I'm trying to get to a certain space in my life? No, right? So this is a good time to really start considering that. How much money are you spending? How much money are you making? Right? Even if you have enough to clear that, what are your means of in cost of living right now, and are you living above them or below them? How can we make adjustments? Are you willing to make adjustments? We see a lot, I see a lot on the internet of people where it's like, I don't believe in budgeting and saving, I just need to make more money. And it's like, it's funny and as cute as that is, again, if your expectations ain't being met, right, you can try to make more money all you want to, but if your job keep denying your overtime, if you having a long time trying to find a second job, right, if Uber and Lyft and doing hair and nails and lashes and whatever else, if that isn't really giving you the boost that you need, then you still are going to be forced to have to budget. or continue to live avoid your means and scrape pennies together. I mean, the option be on you. Okay, so making sure that in June you come up with some financial adjustments. Make sure you also find time to just balance out having some fun and some downtime with how much you're working. Be open minded to the opportunities that come, and actually utilize your communication and your voice and your expression, and allow that to really help open some doors for you. Okay, this is not a time to indulge in your intrusive thoughts, to entertain anxiety, stress, worry, or any of that. Keep your eye on the prize, Sagittarius. Okay, keep your eye on the prize, Sagittarius, because come Cancer season, it'll all start to feel a little bit lighter for you. It should start to begin to feel a little bit lighter for you, but for the beginning of the month, it seems like if you're not careful, your fears and your negative thoughts might get the best of you, and it'll only distract you from staying focused on what it is you got your eyes on. Okay. Thank you again so much, though, if you've tuned in with me and you got this far. Like, share, subscribe. Leave me some comments in the comment section. Okay. Let me know how this resonates. Drop down below in the description box if you want to book a personal reading or just find me on my other platforms, and all of that jazz. Everything you'll need to know will be down there. My name is B, just in case if you forgot from the beginning of this. And I am up out of here. Okay. Like, share, subscribe again, and I'll see you over on the next video. Bye.